Welcome everybody to another great episode of Real Life Matters. Before you start the episode, please go subscribe to the YouTube channel, DBoss Network. Also subscribe to the guests, follow them, like their music, like their stuff, since everything's starting to reopen again and all the, the other things, but they still need your support. So today I got a real special person for you today. He's been in the industry for, we're not even going to say decades. And he's been doing a lot of stuff. He knows the craft. He knows what he's doing. He's been in the entertainment industry for a long time. He's a CEO. He's a record singer, a songwriter, a vocalist, a musician, a recording artist, music and show producer, and more. But we're going to dissect him down and break him down today. And it's no other further ado, we introduce to you Carlos Morgan.
Hey, DBoss, how you doing? Hello, everybody. Good to be here. It's good to be here.
Wow, it's good to see you.
You too.
With all this, all this pandemic and everything.
Yeah.
Well, we don't got to ask you about your name because that's your name.
That's right. Carlos Morgan is my name.
And you can tell everybody where your background is and where you come from.
Okay. Born and raised in Toronto, Canada. Parents are Jamaican. I'm first generation Canadian, quote unquote, to my family. I'm the fourth of six to my dad. For my dad, my mother. I'm the second of six to my birth mother, and the fourth of six to my dad. Again, born and raised in Toronto. Grew up singing in church. Started when I was 7. Joined my first band when I was 12.
Wait a minute. You started singing in church at 7, and you had your own band at 12.
It wasn't my own band.
You just joined the band?
I had joined the church band, and we were very well known in our church community. I went to the church. I went to a Pentecostal church called the Church of God of Prophecy.
Okay.
If there are any prophecy listeners out there. And it's a worldwide church. I don't know about now, but back in the 70s, 60s, 70s, and 80s, and even maybe the 90s, Church of God of Prophecy is a Pentecostal church that had churches and branches all over the world.
Okay.
So, being in Toronto, the name of the band was called the Pape Avenue Brass Band. And there were 15 members, all young guys from the ages, well, I joined when I was 12, so from 12 to 21, 22. And it was mainly a horn section. And then they had the rhythm section that supported the horn section. And then I was the only singer, the lead singer in the band.
So you didn't play any instruments?
No, I actually started taking guitar lessons when I was 8. I hated it. And I hated it more. Well, yeah, I will say I hated playing guitar because my father was a tyrant about it, and that turned me off of it.
Oh God!
But I loved singing and dancing, and as much as my father was hard on me to play the guitar, I just had more of an affinity to sing and dance. And again, growing up and watching Michael Jackson. And just having, as all Black people do, well, let me rephrase that. Most Black folks are great dancers. Even if we're just going side to side, we do it in a way that has style and flair. But I enjoy dancing. And so I focused more on being an entertainer. And Michael Jackson and James Brown were my 2 hugest or biggest inspirations. So I focused more on being a singer and dancer. And when I was growing up, I didn't understand and realize that being a singer or having your voice is also an instrument. Because I used to hear, because musicians would put singers down all the time. Oh, you just sing, you just sing. So
but your voice is an instrument.
Exactly. And I just realized that in maybe the last 8 to 10 years that my voice is an instrument. But growing up, so I didn't play an instrument. I would fiddle around with the guitar, the little scales that I remember from guitar lessons. But other than that, I just wanted to sing and dance. And then when I started understanding how to do, at that time it's called licks, you know,
Oh,
doing all these fancy vocal acrobatic. So growing
right.
up in the 70s and 80s, it was called licks. And then it went to ad libs, and then now it's riffs and runs. And now I just again recently learned the technical term is melismatic vocalization. So I was into when I heard Freddie Jackson first sing and doing all these things with his vocals, with his voice, and doing all these very intricate vocal acrobatics, if you will. I was like, oh my God, I got to learn how to do that. And then listening to Stevie Wonder and all these singers, I just developed my craft as a singer / vocalist.
So when you transitioned out of the church to go to circular music,
Yeah.
how did your family and stuff react to that at that time?
They didn't have a reaction. I'm gonna become a little personal here. So I grew up in a very volatile, hostile, abusive home, and when I was in music and the church, music and gospel music, but at that time, gospel music were my saving graces, and I give God thanks, Jehovah God thanks, and praise every day that He blessed me with the gift of music. And so when I was 16, I left my family and moved, and I got adopted into another family.
Okay.
And the family that adopted me was so supportive of me when it came to my music.
Wow.
So they knew I was in church, and they would, encourage me to, go to church and sing in church. But they also encouraged me to, sing what I loved and perform the music that I loved. And at that time, it was Michael Jackson singing Thriller, being the Michael Jackson of Jane and Finch, and and again, when I was a kid, my tone was very similar to Michael Jackson, right? So because they used to call me Little Carlos
Wow.
when I was growing up, so my tone was very similar to Michael Jackson, and the girls go. When I'd sing like Michael Jackson.
Well, you must have used that to a little bit of your advantage.
Oh, I did. So then when I got into the secular world, and my mom was like, my mom would even come out to hear and see me sing at fashion shows, just in the school talent show. And she would encourage me. She'd come and see me sing at clubs. One time, she came to see me perform at the club, and I brought her up on stage. And for 10 minutes, she sang gospel music, and it was at the Club Blue Note, and everybody was either she took the club to church on a Friday night. It was so my mom was so supportive and encouraging to me. My adopted mom at the same time.
Wow. Anyway. Well, look at you now.
Yeah,
you did something right.
Yes. Yeah. Well, I give all thanks, praise, credit, acknowledge to Jehovah God, because if it wasn't for His blessings, I wouldn't have this gift, and I thank Him every day for it.
Mm-hmm. So, did you go and master your craft for your voice? Do you take singing lessons and stuff, or you just was naturally gifted?
I started taking vocal lessons.
Mm-hmm.
At I think my late teens, early 20s, and it was an ex-girlfriend of mine who took me to my very first lesson, and God bless the dead, rest in peace. His name is C.E.O. Gentry, and the very first time I sang for him, it was like, yeah, okay. When he said it, was like, oh my God, I've been singing wrong all along. So then I started learning about diaphragmatic breathing, and then learning how to understand the voice. And I studied with C.E.O. Gentry, Bill Vincent was another one, And now for the past 25 years, I've been studying with a gentleman named Falconer Abraham. And in my opinion, he is hands down the best vocal coach that I think. We've known each other since we were kids, and we've performed together, and we've done Broadway musical theater shows together. But he's been a vocal coach and a vocal teacher for going on 30 years or just over 30 years. But again, he's been my vocal coach for 25. And at one point when I was having vocal nodules or vocal polyps on my voice, he helped me get rid or minimize the polyps on my vocal cords by teaching me how to sing properly, how to use my chest voice, understand what your chest voice is from your head voice, how to do blending, mixing, and different terminologies of being a vocalist. Now you're going to hear me say singer and vocalist because, in my opinion, everybody can sing. We all can sing. But I also have a belief that not everybody that can sing can be is a vocalist.
Okay.
Right? And to me, a vocalist is understanding the dynamics and understanding the dynamics of vocalizing, understanding your voice, understanding how to approach being a singer, understand lyrics, melodies, interpretation, and doing all of that when singing. So it's not just opening your mouth and saying la 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 la, but it's na 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 na, and doing different phrasings and riffs and runs and how to, like, for me, one of my biggest vocal inspirations is Luther Vandross.
Okay.
Now, Luther wasn't just singing. When he sang, he told you a story by his tone, how he approached the lyric, how he approached the song, how he would crescendo in certain areas, make it soft in certain areas. He would evoke emotion. And that's one of the goals of being a vocalist. Like, there are a lot of great singers out here. There are a lot of incredible singers out here. But in my opinion, there are very few that can really understand dynamics of being a vocalist. And that's what I strive to be.
So most of your music is everything is on your vocal, you tell a story.
That's what I strive for. And so sometimes I used to have a habit, again, of over singing. Like I would embellish or riff. I'd either riff or run and or phrase every note. And when you're young, you're young, dumb, and that's how I was. And I would get scolded all the time. They'd be like, "Carlos, sing the melody, sing the melody, sing the melody. We know you can do all the fancy vocal riffs and runs. Sing the melody and then do it at the right place." And either one, I would rebel against it, or two, I didn't hear it. But then as I got older and began to mature, then I started understanding it. I'm like, okay, so now I'm going to try to, I strive to sing the melody, add harmonies or stylings and phrasing and riffs and runs, and approach them in different ways. So you won't hear the same repetitive. And that's something I used to do. I used to repeat the same kind of riffs and runs all the time. Now I try to think of various ways, and I listen to many great singers, many great vocalists, and I take lessons from other singers. Like right now, Jasmine Sullivan is a huge one for me. Brandy has always been one for me. Gospel singers like Kim Burrell, Zacardi Cortez, Jay Moss, Stokely Williams is another one for me, from the lead singer from Mint Condition. So Stevie was always one, Luther is always one, and Donny Hathaway is always one, Marvin Gaye is always one. So there are certain singers that to me I look at as vocal coaches that I will sit and listen to. I'll close my eyes and be like, okay, how do they approach that? Then I will emulate what they did and then try to do it in a different way that makes it Carlos Morgan. That's what I strive to do.
Well, since you said all that, give us a sample so that people will understand what you just said, and you vocal to make a story. So you have a song. Woo!
Okay. Putting you on the spot. Okay.
This is Real Life Matters. This is what we
do. That's right. That's right. Okay.
Hey, people, he sat up there.
Yeah.
Because he's going to show us an example of the difference between a singer. You can show us an example of some that sing, and then your songs that you use that you vocalize.
Okay, so I don't know who would I. Okay, now understand that music is subjective. Mm-hmm. So what I may consider one thing, you may consider as something else, and somebody may consider it as something else.
Okay, so everybody's different. Okay,
everybody's different, right? And we all have our likes and dislikes. We all have our things, our tastes and our distastes. So now, for example, someone to me like best person I could think of would be Bobby Brown.
Okay.
Now, in my opinion, Bobby Brown he's a singer, and the thing that I enjoy about Bobby Brown is his tone. But in terms of being a vocalist, I don't think he has that. Now compare him to Johnny Gill.
Okay.
Okay. So when you hear Johnny Gill sing, "Put on your red dress and slip on your high heels and some of that sweet perfume. Girl looks good on you. Slide on your lipstick." Now he's freezing. "And let all your hair down. 'Cause baby, when you get through, I'm gonna show you." Okay, now that to me is where Johnny's like vocalizing.
Wow.
Where Bobby Brown would sing something like, "Know that you walk here with me." Just straight. "Baby, let's do it right. Oh, baby. No, don't come in closer down. I want to hold you all so tight." Now, Bob, right there, to me, Bobby's just singing it. But if Johnny were to sing that, Johnny would do something like, "Know that you are here with me. Baby, let's do it right. Ooh, baby, I love to run my fingers through your hair." And he's like, "Come on and stay with me all night. I want to rock with you, baby." Now he's like giving it. Bobby was like, "I want to rock with you, baby." Right? So to me, Bobby's just singing it, but Johnny would be like
into it.
And he'd be like, you see, like the girls would be like, "Ah, Johnny!" He'd be like, "Yeah, man." Well, what do you think? My, you sure look good tonight, and you're so damn fine, like that, fine, right? That to me is like, ooh, running that little scale. Bobby Brown can't do things like
when
that.
you're singing it, then.
Yeah, exactly. Right. So it's a matter of, or Luther would sing like something like, Luther would be like, "Let me hold you tight, if only for one night. Let me keep you near to ease away your fear. It would be so nice, if only for one night." And it just fade out, right? Yes. Woo!
I'm gonna say, "Wow, we gotta hire him, man. We gotta hire him for the night."
Right?
Woo! You be singing. You know, look at this. You are a legend. You know, you
Oh,
don't put it behind your name or in front of it, but
yeah,
you know, for you to pull off what you just did.
yeah. Okay. Well, thank you. Thank you.
Now people know the difference between a singer and a vocalist.
Yeah, yeah.
And you better know because Carlos Morgan will come and test you on it.
Exactly, exactly. Now, again, keep in mind that I understand that music is subjective. So some people would be like, "Yeah, Johnny Gill can sing, but Bobby," because I've heard some people be like, "Bobby Brown." I'm like,
Um,
oh, okay. Well, that's your opinion, and I respect that's your opinion. I have a different opinion, but to me, like Luther Vandross is a vocalist, right? But Bobby Brown, okay, he could like again. To me, you take Whitney when she first came out, like the first 8-9 years when Whitney first came out, she as a vocalist was killing, 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 killing. But then the last few years of her life, when she got unfortunately and
yeah, addicted.
she got in drugs and smoking, and she just destroyed her voice, that her vocal ability got so diminished to where she can only sing certain notes and certain keys because her high end was gone. That high bright timbre and her tone was all destroyed from the years of abuse of drinking and drugs and smoking, right? But when you go back to like her first two albums, my God, it's like, wow, she's an angel. Her
And
voice was so
Shaka
angelic.
Khan can really pull those notes also.
Right, and Shaka Khan, another vocalist, right? Now, to me, if you want to compare to me, I love Gladys Knight,
Woo! Yes.
right? Now, to me, Patti LaBelle is a singer, but in my opinion, I can only listen to her so much because I think she yells a lot,
Okay.
right? Whereas Gladys Knight, she doesn't have the range that Patti LaBelle does. Like Patti LaBelle could sing in the rafters.
Mm-hmm.
Now, and so in my opinion, I think Patti LaBelle would be a high alto, high soprano singer, where Gladys Knight is an alto. She can sing tenor, but she's a high alto singer. But the way she sings in her range, she knows her voice. But when she sings certain songs, I remember I went to see her live twice and I cried.
Mm.
I teared up listening to her sing um the great what's the name of the song, not Midnight Train to Georgia, the greatest thing that ever happened to me.
Mm-hmm.
I've had my share of life's ups and downs, and man, or when she sang her version of The Way We Were, to me, she sings it better than Barbara Streisand,
Wow.
right? So again, her vocal ability. So again, that's what I strive to be. I want one of my legacy that I hope that when people will, when they think of Carlos Morgan as an artist, they'll be like, you know what, say what you want about Carlos Morgan, but that dude, he not only could sing, but he really moved me when he sings. When I hear him sing, he moved me. Or when I watch it perform, he was an entertainer. He brought it every time. That is what I pray that people will walk away when they think of me, or when they think of Carlos Morgan as an artist, that it'd be like, yeah, he wasn't just singing, he was really giving it.
So, who have you worked with in the industry, the music industry?
Who have I worked with? I've not.
Or you just been on your own?
For the most part, I've been on my own. I've been wanting to work with so many people. And
Well, who would you like to work with that you would like to and you didn't get the opportunity yet?
Oh, on my wish list, I would love to work with Brandy.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to start with Canada first, and I'm going to say this because in the Black music community in Canada,
Mm-hmm.
we are not unified.
That's right.
And I think one of the main reasons why we in the Black music community have not succeeded is because we do not unify and join together artistically, creatively, financially, politically.
Mm-hmm.
No matter what genre of Black music it is, whether it's R&B, whether it's gospel, whether it's reggae, whether it's not so much hip hop, because I find the hip hop community, they will work together. They will work together, and they will feature each other on each other's songs. They will collaborate more so than I find in R&B, in reggae, and gospel. I find that it's, and this is my personal opinion, I find that we're not getting ahead as a community because we don't unify. And so for a number of years, I had been wanting to work with a number of singers in Canada. Okay, I'm in Toronto, and the majority of singers that I know are in the city or in Toronto.
Mm-hmm.
There are many singers in Toronto that I've been wanting to work with. I've been wanting to do a male vocal group for the past 10 years. And I've reached out to many male singers in Toronto to say, even if it's just one song, and not taking anything away from our individual projects.
Right.
Let's record a song as a group. And by doing that, I believe that it will bring more notoriety, more awareness to our individual solo projects, right? So, but for whatever reason, it won't happen. It's not happening. There's politics, there are cliques, and I'm not for the politics and I'm not for the cliques. I'm like, listen, I want to work with you. I'm even like, listen, I don't have to sing lead on this song. I'll be in the background. I'll just do my I just want to do a dance move and harmonize. Y'all can sing the lead. I'll just be in the background. But for whatever reason, everybody wants to be, from my experience and from what I see and what the reaction and the response that I get is everybody wants to do their own thing, or they'll do things with other people. Right. And I have my reasons and my theories as to why that is.
Went through it.
Pardon me?
You went through it. You've been through it.
No, well, I haven't even been through it because I have not had an opportunity to be in a group, right? And to be like, okay, well, this is what a group is like. And yes, there's going to be dynamics, of course, because you're dealing with different personalities, different attitudes, different ideas, different.
The more people, the more personalities you got to deal with.
Right? Exactly, and different objectives. But for me, it's like, listen, let's pull our resources together and let's do something together. You know, when the pandemic was going on, there were a group of singers that came together and after the murder of George Floyd, you know, there were a group of singers that recorded a song together that I was a part of. I was happy to be a part of. And there were two projects that I was happy to be a part of. I was called upon to, you know, loan my voice and my talents to a group of singers about social justice and racial justice issues that were going on at the time. Again, with George Floyd, Breonna Taylor, Ahmaud Arbery. Those were the three major stories that were going on of Black people being murdered, right? And so being asked to sing with a group of incredible vocalists from Toronto, I was like, I'm there for it.
Right.
But again, to do like a vocal group where it's like we do, I don't want to say a Canadian version of, but you know, 5 incredible male artists in Toronto recording a song together, putting it out, shooting a video, marketing and promoting it, and then saying, yeah, we did this. Now we're going to do a concert and we're going to support one another, singing for each other on each other's songs. And the very last song, we're going to perform our song together as a group. But that's not coming together. There's people who want to do their cover songs and their tribute shows and their this and their that. It's like, come on, man. When are we as black artists in Canada, when are we going to have our own voice? When are we going to unify and put something out there as a group or as a collective, build on that, and then watch and support each other on our individual projects? But I don't know
I
what
don't
to do.
say everybody's in the entertainment. Everybody's like they're bought for themselves, you know.
Exactly.
And, you know, I hope that reality will come to in play at some point. It should, because it just doesn't make sense, you know. Then they want to do other things, but we got a lot of great entertainers here in Canada. For people that don't know, look,
Right.
they're there. There's Carlos Morgan. I've interviewed several people from Canada, and they're here. And you know, just for everybody to collab together to do something, I don't understand.
Believe me, DBoss, I've been scratching my head, banging my head, expressing frustration and upset for years about it. There were 2 opportunities where I got together with 3 other guys, said, let's do this. We had 2 meetings. I said, one song, let's just do one song. And if it builds into more, great. But let's just start with one song. I thought it was going to start. It started, and then it just fell apart for I don't know what reason. And I said, well, did I say or do something, or did I not say, or did I not do something? Because it just fell apart. And then I tried again with another group of guys. And they said, yeah, they should.
You tried again with a group that I've interviewed, and you did one song, or did you do anything with them?
No. No, we went to the studio. The 4 of us went to the studio once, thinking, okay, I met a producer. Let's get in the studio. Let's write a song. And then it just fell apart. And I thought, you know what? No. And then it's so. And I just realized everybody's for themselves, right? And again, people will hold things so closely to their chest. For example, I'm the kind of person. If you call me and say, Carlos, you know, do you know this person, or do you have a name, or can I connect with somebody that you know? Sure, here it is. When I reach out, I don't get that. So it's like, man, wow. I guess I'm going to start up to play the same game now, because I'm the kind of person, I will share. I'm not afraid. I'm not insecure.
Because you know your craft, and you know who you are, and you know what you do, and you know what you can't do.
Exactly. Right. And I'm a full-time artist. I bust my backside every day doing music in one way, shape, or form. And I graduated with my master's degree last year, and I'm pursuing a career in teaching music and writing a course. So I bust my ass all the time.
You're going to be able to pass down the craft through your teaching.
Exactly. So, but again, it's like, no, we ain't telling Carlos anything. I'm like, you know what? Okay, cool. You know what? I'll just in my little corner.
I understand why it's like that. It just doesn't make any sense to anybody or to me. I don't get it. You know, we support each other. We don't have that many blacks here as everywhere else, you know, including the Caribbean. You know what I mean? So I don't and the ones that come from here should obviously support us here, right?
Exactly.
So I don't understand what's happening when they get over here. So
exactly. And it's not like, you know, we have any artists from Canada doing it domestically in Canada. Like all the black artists that have made success that are from Canada had to leave.
Yeah.
Right. So now I'm doing the same thing. I'm not going to move, but I'm focusing on building my career in the UK, in Europe, and in America. I'm done with Canada. I'm done. I'm going to make my music here. I'll record here. But my goal now is I want to connect with
somewhere else.
I want to connect with American artists, American labels, start promoting my music in the US, and I'm doing it all myself. I'll pick up the phone and call anybody, or I'll find the information on who to connect with, and I'll just keep trying and keep trying and keep trying, because it's like, I should have done this 25 years ago. But when I came up with my first album, I won a Juno for my first album. I said, and it was an authentic
And what
R&B.
was it called? What was it called? Your album?
Feeling All Right.
Feeling All Right.
Last week Wednesday was the 25th anniversary of my winning the Juno for my first album.
Wow.
25th anniversary, and I'm having a celebration of it in June. I'm going to have a concert. I'm going to perform 6 songs from the album, and then 3 new songs that's coming out on my new album in the fall. I'm going to have a concert in June.
We better come. Was my birthday's in June, so
what's your birthday?
It's June 27th. So you better invite me. June 27th.
What day is June 27th?
Oh, it's a Monday, but it's probably the weekend before then, or maybe a week.
Yeah, I'm trying to do the show on the weekend of June 11th, Saturday, June 11th.
Well, let us know. Tag me in the page so people can get their stuff and invite people down. So tell us about your new songs that you have, and we're gonna play one.
Okay, so I'm coming out with an album called "Where I've Been, Where I'm Going," and it's a song.
Well, I guess we don't have to ask what that means because you just told us.
yeah. It's an autobiographical song of my life.
Okay.
But the album, is about, there's parts of the album that deals with heartbreak and breakup and love and relationships falling apart. Then there are songs that that addresses like the title track, and then there's a song that I released a few years ago called "Have a Little Faith." I'm putting on the album, and then the rest of the album is going to go about love and falling in love and being in love and making love. Love.
Or you put it on when you're making love, or you put it off or after you finish, you can listen.
Exactly. So I'm looking forward to. I'm really excited about this album. But since last year, when the pandemic hit, I decided, you know what? I got some songs. I'm going to put some singles out. So last year, I put out my rendition of "Sunglasses at Night." I did a version of "Sunglasses at Night" by Corey Hart. Corey Hart heard it, and he sent me a message saying that he loved it, he liked it, and he was flattered with my rendition of it. The music video is on YouTube. Okay. And then in October, I released a single that I sent to you called "Escrava de tu amore." It's a Brazilian Portuguese spoken word love song, means "slave to your love."
Okay.
And I'm singing on the song, but there's a young woman who's doing the spoken word piece in Brazilian Portuguese, and the song is basically she's telling her lover all the things, the erotic things that she wants her lover to do to her. Yeah, girl.
You're just thinking in your head like, okay, what?
Yeah.
That must have been a nice, sexy song then.
Yeah, it's slightly over 2 minutes, and I'm doing the operatic vocals in the song. So there here's some operatic vocals in the song, and there's a music video for that, which features
they might pick that up for a movie, you know.
Yeah, hopefully. I'm always
like that can play that.
You know what I'm saying? I'm always trying to pitch my songs to movies and TV. Mm-hmm. And then the latest song I released, my new single, which I released last Tuesday, is called "We're Gonna Make It." I'm really happy about this song. The song is basically about being in a relationship and there being issues in the relationship, one of them being communication, and when there's constant arguing and fighting and how it can cause hurt and pain. But the objective is working through the problems or the issues in the relationship, and communicating with love. And once having that understanding and communicating how you feel with love, and patience, is saying, if we can get through these problems that we're having and how we talk to each other, we can make it. We're going to make it. And that's
All right.
basically
Well, we're gonna hear this one. We're gonna hear this now, and how how we're gonna make it.
Yeah.
I want to hear it because I can't wait.
Good.
Wait to hear this one. Just hold on. Window. I think it is. Yes, here it is. Share.
Yeah. I like that. When you love, you don't stop. Yeah, gonna make it. Ooh, here we go. We're gonna make it. Early one morning, as I was watching TV, the phone rang and it was you wanting to see me. Not a good idea, cause we'll end up in bed. All the stress you put me through, messing with my head. But I know that if there's a way that we can keep our love together, and if there's a way that we can make our love much better, I don't wanna be alone, because I know that I can't take it. But if we work this out, that's how we're gonna make it. That's how we're gonna make it. Now every time that I see you, I wonder what we'll go through. Are we gonna fight or get along? I don't know what to do. You don't listen to how I feel, so I keep it inside. I won't have you using me, playing with my life. No, I won't. There's a way that we can keep our love together, and there's a way that we can make our love much better. I don't wanna be alone, because I know that I can't take it. But if we work this out, that's how we go. If there's a way that we can keep our love together, and there's a way that we can make our love much better. I don't wanna be alone, because I know that I can't take it. But if we work this out, that's how we're gonna make it. That's how we're gonna make it. I believe that's how we're gonna make it. You don't know how to talk to me. You push me away, yes you do. I don't wanna stay. Why can't you see this is killing me? What do we do to make it right? Cause I wanna love you more. Yes I do. Yeah. I said I love you. I wanna hold you. We can make it better. There's a way that we can keep our love together. There's a way that we can make our love much better. I don't wanna leave now, because I know that I can't take it. But if we work this out, that's how we're gonna make it. There's a way that we can keep our love together. There's a way that we can make our love much better. I don't wanna be alone, because I know that I can't take it. If we work this out, that's how we're gonna make it. We could do our best to make this last. Just find a way to forget the past. Oh, if we believe in what we have is real, and communicate on how we feel. There's a way that we can keep our love together. There's a way that we can make our love much better. I don't wanna be alone, because I know that I can't take it. But if we work it out, that's how we're gonna make it.
Whoa. That was good.
Thank you.
Well,
Thank
no, but that's a good song there because everybody can relate to that. A lot of people can relate to that. How are we gonna make it? You know what I mean? And you nailed it.
Thank you, DeBoss. Thank you. Yeah, I that was that. I wrote that song. I wrote the lyrics to the song, and I worked on it with the music. 3 other guys wrote the music, and the song was based off of an experience, a relationship that I was in at the time. That we were just like clashing all the time, and we just were not understanding each other. And so I would get triggered by things he would say to each other. And then I would say something that would trigger how she felt and she'd be hurt or vice versa. And we were just, our communication was just bad. And the relationship didn't last. But what I learned from that was, if we can find different ways of communicating how we feel, because again, it got to the point where for the both of us, it got to the point where we would say we want to see each other, we want to spend time together, but because it was like, okay, what's going to happen? We're going to see each other. Like, what are we walking into? Are we going to have an argument about something like the most silliest of things or the most frivolous of things? Is it going to be like something like that? If that's the case, then you know what? I don't want to see you. Or sometimes it would be like, we'd have a problem, and instead of us addressing the problem, as I said in my song, it's not a good idea to see each other, because instead of us addressing the problem, we're going to end up in bed.
Ooh,
which is not a bad thing, but
that's not a problem. But that's not a problem. But it's after what happens after that, right?
Exactly. And we're going to be together intimately, but we're not addressing the issue. And by us not addressing the issue is just exacerbating and perpetuating the problem, making it bigger. So we think, okay, we're going to be, oh, I love you. Oh, I love you. And then 5 minutes later, I hate you guys. So it's like, no, right? So
you got to listen to that song, and people's got to listen to the other song. They can go and listen to that one, and so what's more? What more can we expect from you?
So I'm coming out with a remix for this single. I shot a video for the song. We're gonna make it on the weekend. It's coming out by the 25th. And then in June, I'm releasing a new single, a reggae single, a song that I produced called "Just Jane." I'm looking forward to that one. I'm actually looking for a roots gal to be in that video.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I look for a roots gal who say,
well, there's a lot of them. There's a lot of them in Toronto. That's if they want to reach out.
Yeah, you see the thing is, I don't know how to find any roots gal. I don't know how to find them. You know what I mean? I don't know how to find one. I say, I'm getting them in video. So I'm looking forward to that. And then I'm working with, I wrote a duet last week with an incredible singer-songwriter producer by the name of Mo Spence, or Monique Spence, but she goes by Mo Spence. And we wrote a song together we're going to release in September called "Come Take My Hand." And I'm very happy about that one. So yeah.
So you got to come back when you release that other one, so we can hear that one there and see who you found as a roots gal.
Yes. I'm gonna. If you know anyone, send them my way.
Yes, I will.
If you know any roots guy who want to be in a music video, I say, because the vibe of the song is called "Just Jane," as I said, and it's more of a lovers rock kind of feel, right? I was trying to go for reggae, but a lot of people that I played the song to, they say and lovers rock and reggae are very, very closely related, right? Because lovers rock comes out of reggae. So
yeah, but there's different versions of reggae, that people know. So
that's true too. So I'm going for the lovers rock kind of vibe. I was going for like a bit of the old school Dennis Brown with a bit of the old school Dennis Brown. And I was trying, but I love Romain Virgo. I love Chris Martin. I love Etana, and I love Chronics. Those, and of course, I love Beres Hammond. You know, so but Dennis Brown for me is still one of the greatest reggae artists of all time. And so, going for that, when you're in the old school reggae dance, and the gentleman go up to the lady and ask, I said, beg your dance.
I didn't really know. I don't go to very many of those ones.
I did a few too. I did a few reggae dance too. I said, I'm standing by the door and say, stop me, lift off.
Too much for me.
Yeah. Them bad man come out of the place and they say, so in case something lick off me, God through the door. I run out quick, but you have those mature reggae dance where you have the man in them suit and the ladies dressed in them nice dress and them goes to reggae dance and them just under the blue light and them just you know what I mean? And then just a dance with them drink and them look cool and thing them way there.
Well, if people want to book you, Carlos, where can they reach out to you?
I could be reached at my email, carlos@carlosmorganmusic.com, or carlosmorganmusic@hotmail.com. One of those two. I could be. You could find me on Instagram, Carlos Morgan Music. I'm on Facebook, carlos.morgan.562. That's Facebook, carlos.morgan.562. I'm on SoundCloud, Carlos-Morgan. I was on Twitter, but someone hacked into my Twitter account and I'm trying to get my Twitter account.
It's terrible, these people that be doing that,
I'm telling you, these people can't find. I'm like, people will wake up and say, I'm going to hack into people's accounts and rob and steal. I'm like, parasites have
really
nothing else to do.
People,
They're parasites. They're worms. I'm like, that is.
Sometimes it's people that and they just do that, so.
And I'm like,
more power to you.
What reason? For what reason you're hacking into somebody else's account to rob, steal from them, or what's the purpose?
Well, everybody has a purpose. You just gotta make sure your passwords are pretty protected.
Yeah, I agree. I could change mine a few times, man.
But anyways, all good things have to come to an end, especially now.
Yes, true.
But anyways, I do want to thank you, Carlos Morgan, for sharing your journey. For sharing your journey with us and legacy and your teaching. And I'm pretty sure a lot of people will want to go to you, come and be taught by you, because they're going to learn so much and they're going to be so enriched with so much knowledge. And and today you're telling the difference what's between a vocalist, a singer, and a vocalist. And you know what? If y'all missed it tonight, oh well, you got to go back and watch it on the YouTube channel.
Exactly. And again, I give vocal lessons. So I have my own vocal. I'm building my own vocal school called the Solroc Vocal Performance Class. Okay. So if anybody is looking for vocal lessons or want to understand or work on building their melismatic vocalization or contemporary vocalization, they can reach me at Soul Vocals, SOL Vocals @hotmail.com. You could email me there.
Yeah, I'll put the information also in the YouTube thing so people could reach you.
Yes, please. Yes, please. So I give vocal lessons. I used to hate teaching, but I picked up a passion for it. And I want to impart what I know to other singers, right?
Right.
And I'm very passionate, and I could sometimes get so hyper that I get so excited that I stumble over my words, but I'm just like, yeah, you could do it. Let's try it. Let's try different things or try different ways of vocalizing or phrasing. Yeah, but
okay,
I'm available for teaching. So,
all right. Well, I thank you again, everybody. So good night right now. Real Life Matters. Everybody have a good night.